Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to another video. In today's video, I wanted to discuss with you guys how I believe that movement is literally medicine, and how training movement and taking care of my physicality and actually exercising my body regularly has changed my life for the best. But before we discuss further about this topic, I just wanted to really share this amazing workout that I filmed at the Toronto Park with you guys, just to give an idea to you as to how I go about training movements and different forms of training disciplines. So let's enjoy this workout real quick, and then we'll be talking further about movement itself and why I believe movement is medicine. All right, let's get into it.
I'm in it for keepsake, in the field with the cleat lace, beat flip with the bare face and a slick tie, that's what she say. She look good, she a big tease when she biting lip with the wink face. Hella bad when she throwing it back, she bring out my way for the team play. For Pete's sake, I'm above average, I'm padding my stat, I gotta matter what he say. I'm the 2010 young LeBron James off the backboard, type of bad boy. Hold it down for the task force, if I run his fade, then you ask for it. Niggas cross, need to laugh more, I keep it 100 on dashboard. The live show need a passport, cause the beat bounce to the cap torn. Feel like I live it, fast forward, but I asked for it. Misfit, got a quick lit on a crash course from the tattered garment to the tabloid. Spoke how I live it into existence. Might be ahead of myself, but the bank account did jump up a couple figures. But like nobody could fuck with us. I'm a flight risk. I play among the stars in the Hollywood Hill. The space station couldn't even get in touch with me. Praise faith that I stuck with it. Wave. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on a wave. When everything I say turn into the real thing. I tell her run it up, cause you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the slums, the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on a wave. When everything I'm saying turn into the real thing. I've been living like I'm famous. Like I don't show my face as I'm jumping on the stage. Like I'm living in a daydream. Lost in imagination. She only want me when she fake. She quick to tell me I'm a fake. She ain't told no lie, she love it when I catch my cadence. She gone off the deep end, pull up every weekend. I hate to let her down, but I'm in a fast life, so you know it's slowing me down. Heartbreak, jumping like you don't sleep out. How you switch up, you always let me down. Wonder why I turn into a clone of me now. It could be worse, right? I got where I'm at without no work-life balance. You tell me that it's love, but I'm knowing that it's madness. Squad with me, God, cut us from the same fabric. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on a wave, but everything I say turn into the real thing.
Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that workout. Now let's quickly talk about movement training. First of all, I want to share my personal story of why I've been so interested about movement training, and have been training rigorously probably for about 3 or 4 or 5 years now. I can't even remember, that's how long I have been doing different disciplines of movement training. I've been following quite a few people on YouTube, on Instagram, and I've just been going about absorbing their style, And when it comes to these things, you can really observe as to how the person that you're watching on Instagram or YouTube is doing their movements, how are they training, and then you can look further and then research into different aspects of it, the physiological aspects, the anatomical aspects, if you want to understand more about your own anatomy, how the muscles work and everything, how muscles contract, and all of those good things. So I've been doing this for a while now. But why did I start doing this? What caused this massive intrigue about movement, about the body's anatomy, and being able to train in different disciplines? So back in 2011, I had a back surgery, and I've shared this story before in my videos, but if you're new to the channel, this is one of the aspects that I'll be talking about quite a bit, So yeah, back in 2011, I had a back surgery. The doctors literally had to drill through my backbone, literally a whole an inch, and cut the disc out on the L4 and L5 level, basically right above your tailbone, That's the area where the vertebra and the disc is. So that's where mine had to be cut out for me to be able to walk again and live a normal life. Now, I don't exactly know what was the cause of it. My doctors couldn't really figure out that either, but I was in a lot of pain and a really bad situation, to the point that my nurses, my parents had to take me around in the hospital when I was getting my surgery done on a wheelchair, because that's how much the pain was there. I couldn't even walk more than 10 feet without causing myself pain, and my back was entirely just swollen up like both my discs were jamming into my nerve endings and everything. I couldn't lift my leg up, and it was just a bad situation overall. So after the surgery was done, I went through a 6-month-long rehab for my body, learning to walk again, strengthening my back muscles, learning to use my body, just like generally bending down, being able to walk and all of those things. And even talking about bending down and like very basic movements like those things, you know, my doctors really warned me that my life would not be the same after like this incident, just because my back was just so compromised. And from the patients that they had dealt with in the past, a lot of them had like recurring issues with these things, so they would have to get surgeries every 5 years or so, you know. And my case was so bad to the point that they were even considering cutting the entire disc out, and from having to prevent the vertebra like slip on each other and like my spine literally going like, you know, sideways, they were considering putting a titanium cage in there even, you know. So that's what the gravity of the situation was. And after my surgery, it literally did take me about 6 months to even a year, I remember, just rehabilitating my body, you know, learning to walk again, all of those things, getting comfortable with those movements. And after having my doctors warn me that I would not be able to live a normal life or play sports or do anything athletic or even being able to like sit down for prolonged hours, they literally scared me to death. But after this incident, I kind of decided that I'm going to focus on my body, on my health. I had gotten like really fat and like put on like a lot of weight from my surgery time, then rehabilitation, because I was not moving a whole lot. And I wanted to like just lose the weight initially. That's where it started. And I did spend months on bed rest with like zero movement, because my doctors even asked me to, you know, take a shit on the bed. That's how bad it was. But I did take that pain, I don't know, to go to the bathroom and just like have some dignity. But yeah, it was that bad. But anyway, after the surgery, I started training seriously. It first started with the weight loss. I lost a bunch of weight just from doing cardio and things like that, and started like dabbling into weight training. That was almost like 10 years ago. And ever since then, it has just become such a mission for me to explore my physical limits when it comes to different forms of training. So I'd been doing weight training, powerlifting, and calisthenics, animal flow. So there's no restriction to what type of training I might be doing. It really depends on the flow. It could be again weight training or movement flows, martial arts. So if I'm watching someone do karate kicks or something like that, I literally spend time in observing how they are orienting their body. How is their midline stabilized? How are their knees moving? You know, how are their ankles moving? You know, I've spent like so much time looking at soccer players, NFL football players. I've looked at hockey players. How are they driving power? How are they moving momentum across their body to be so effective, you know, in their movements, because these are some really challenging sports, you know. And over time, I have learned these things, I've observed these things, and then practiced them on my own, you know, which is why my workouts are literally a mixture of movement training, a mixture of powerlifting, a mixture of weight training, calisthenics, and I just go from one movement to another, and wherever I feel like I'm lacking strength or something like that, those are primarily the areas that I'll train first before anything else. But yeah, then I will focus on bodybuilding and things like that. But I do move quite a bit from an area to another area to like train different types of movements, be it in isolation, be it compound lifts, be it martial arts and all of those things. So I've learned to like really mix these things up so that I can challenge my body further and learn about how movement patterns work and like develop a better mind muscle connection, and even being able to contract the muscles at different times, and being able to drive strength from using my body entirely in unison rather than just like focusing on different muscle groups at time.
Again, I can get it, I can make it, yeah, I know it, and I'm never looking back again. Gotta keep pushing through. Yeah, I keep doing my own thing. Yeah, never looking back again.
And then there will also be times when I'm going to be doing some isolation moves to like strengthen weaker body parts, and then I'll just like, you know, train them in isolation. I'm about to hop out for a good brunch. It's Saturday today, just trained upper body this morning. Like, I never wanted to end up in a situation where I could be in a wheelchair, you know, for the rest of my time, because that was definitely a scare back then too. And which is why I have been so particular about learning about my body, learning about the physiology, experimenting with different movement patterns, be it animal flow and other disciplines that I just mentioned, you know, so that I never end up in that situation. But now it has like become a life's purpose to be able to just train in different disciplines and get as good as other people, you know, as good as different athletes I watch, just performing at their best at the highest levels, you know, doing their thing. And I want to be able to like experience that myself, which is why I train so hard, you know. I feel like right now, ever since I have been working as a software engineer, kind of like full-time and like working on my businesses with my girlfriend, I do lack time. So I've been training maybe 3 to 4 hours at a time, 4 days a week. But other than that, whenever I had time, I've been training like 6 days a week, 7 days a week. It is such a huge part of my life to be able to move as efficiently, as effectively as possible, and being able to engage my body the way I want to, so that I have complete control over my own movements. That's how much I care about training. Which is why I wanted to like share this video out with you guys, to maybe motivate you to adopt this level of discipline and train in different formats. It doesn't matter if you have a day job, it doesn't matter if you're not a professional athlete. Do it recreationally, because it's just going to improve your health, just like it did for me. It completely transformed my self-image. It did so much for my own personal like self-confidence, that once I saw myself transform my own body and being able to do such challenging movements that I never thought were possible for me, directly translated that confidence in my other areas of my life as well. My relationships improved with people, and then my thinking improved, my mindset improved, being able to challenge myself continuously and being able to do better things, and being able to accept failures, being able to accept my mistakes completely, and being able to learn from those things. Which is why I am really recommending this level of training to you guys as well. It doesn't matter where you are starting. I started in a really bad place with my back surgery, as I told you, right? So if I have come so far, then who's stopping you from doing something like that, you know? And another reason for me to train movement is that I have a sedentary job, you know. I'm a full stack software engineer working with a Silicon Valley company, and I work on different businesses with my girlfriend, and our lifestyle is pretty remote. Our businesses, our work are completely driven by our laptops. So just like sitting down for prolonged hours working definitely does compromise the strength in your back and things like that, you know. And that's why most people who have sedentary jobs, they complain so much about just back issues and lower back pain and things like that in general. Which is why I do want to train harder and figure these things out, so I can share my knowledge with you guys, because a lot of my community is mostly going to be digital entrepreneurs, software engineers, and digital creatives like designers, filmmakers, and things like that. And most of these people have sedentary jobs, you know. It doesn't matter if they are running their own businesses or whatever, but a lot lot of people do come to me on my Instagram asking about my story, my journey, how I fixed my back, and I have gone through a plethora of other injuries as well, you know, tendonitis, hip issues, you know, glute amnesia and all of those things. And I have like researched, looked into these things, trained myself out of these injuries as well. So a lot of people do reach out to me, which is why I want to dedicate more time into researching these things and share those things out with you guys. Yeah, enough with the rant. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, but I did want to talk to you guys about movement, and I'll be doing so more in the future because I'm trying to cover everything from my mindset, how I go about challenging myself, how I go about achieving things in my life, how I go about dealing with my failures, learning from my mistakes, and then how I translate my discipline to my career, my relationships, how am I improving in those areas as well. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, guys, go ahead and do so, because I'll be sharing a variety of like personal development type of content with you guys in the future, you know. And definitely leave a like on this video. It helps me grow my channel. It lets the YouTube algorithm know that this video is supposed to be shown to like more people, and in general it's just like it just reaches a wider population, you know. That's what my goal is, to reach more people and help them out, share my story and share mindset tips and strategies and all of those things, so that we can all grow together, right? Definitely turn on that bell notification icon so that you can stay updated on my future videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next video now. And let me know in the comments below, what other type of videos would you like me to make? What other parts of my life would you like to see, so I can make those videos and share those out with you guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, see ya.
Again, I can get it, I can make it, yeah, I know it, and I'm never looking back again.